Hi, and welcome to this video on how to build your first website. This video will show you how to build a website step by step from scratch. But before we dive into this video, if anytime during this video you see a part that's more interesting to you, you can just use the timeline below to skip ahead. Besides this video, there are a lot of other videos coming up on this channel, like how to get traffic to your website, how to turn that traffic into customers, and how to turn those customers into loyal fans. So don't forget to subscribe. But what is included in this video? I'm going to show you how to build your own website as a part of the customer experience. Your customer experience is everything from traffic to loyal fans. But for this video, we will focus on getting up your first website. In order to get your website up and running, you will be needing hosting and a domain. We will help you pick up the right domain and select the perfect hosting for your needs. Once we've selected the domain and hosting, we're going to look for the best platform to build your website on. After that, it's time for the fun part, deciding on what your website should look like. We will take you to some of the places with the best designers for your website. A brand new website needs good content to attract your customers. We will show you how to decide what you should write and where to get free, beautiful images and videos to spicing up your website. Your website should be live by now, but maybe in the future you want to start selling some products to make some money. We will show you some e-commerce basics and how to get started. And last but not least, once you have your first visitors or customers, you want to build a relationship, so you give your visitors a reason to come back. So let's get started. To get your website up and running, you will be needing a domain and hosting. The domain is the address where people can find your website, like google.com or instagram.com. We will be showing you in a second what to look for in your first domain. Besides having a good domain name, we will be looking into the perfect hosting for you. This is where the files of your website will be placed, so when a visitor goes to your domain name, the right files will be shown. When looking for a domain name, you need to keep these three things in mind: the name of your domain, the extension, and if the domain name is available or not. When it comes down to a domain name, you want a domain name that's easy to remember for your customers and resembles your brand. Don't go with a domain name that's too long, and you might want to consider using a Google search term in your domain name. Once you've selected a domain name, you want to think about the right extension. The extension is the part that comes after the domain name. So google.com, the .com is the extension. If you are intending on building a website for a global purpose, you might want to look at a .com extension, but it's not necessary. When you try and find the perfect domain name, you want to look for a domain name with the extension that's available. Ultimately, your domain name is still available, but there are a lot of domain names already registered. There's a way to get the domain name you want, but buying a domain name from someone can get very expensive. We will go over the two options in a second. When you've found the perfect domain, you want the perfect place to host your website. This is the place where the website will live and will be available for your customers. Hosting can get very technical, but we want something that suits your needs perfectly without too much hassle. When looking for hosting, you want to look for the best hosting with just the right features you need. Don't go overboard in the beginning, because we want to spend as less time as possible on the technical stuff. We want hosting that's easy to use, and if we get stuck, have great customer support. And last but not least, of course, we don't want to break the bank while running our website. Now, there are a lot of different hosting partners out there, and they all have their pros and cons. But from our personal experience, we prefer SiteGround because of their great customer support at a reasonable price. If anytime during the video you have questions, just comment down below and we'll try to reply as soon as possible. All the material that we're using in this video will be linked down below in the description. So for this video, we're going to use Tina as an example. Tina has a decent Instagram account with pictures about her dog and living healthy. But she wants to provide more information about herself, so she wants to build a website. Tina's goal is to turn her Instagram account into something more. She wants to sell dog products and start writing recipes about healthy living. People build websites for many different reasons. Ben & Jerry's has a website to get traffic to their products. Ford has a website to generate leads for their cars. Amazon has a website to sell products. And Dollar Shave Club wants members to join their program. Remember to add value, so make sure that you have something different for your customers. If it's something more easier or higher quality or just cheaper, you should be good. Now Tina has traffic from her Instagram account, but she needs a place to turn those followers into real customers. For this video, we're going to focus on the middle part, building out the platform. If you don't know how to get traffic, then you should definitely subscribe to our channel, because in the next video, we're going to show you a couple of easy ways on how to get traffic. To get your website up and running, you will be needing a domain and hosting. The domain is an address where people can find your website, like google.com or instagram.com. We will be showing you in a second what to look for in your first domain. Besides having a good domain name, we will be looking into the perfect hosting for you. This is where the files of your website will be placed, so when a visitor goes to your domain name, the right files will be shown. So let's take a look at what we should be building for Tina. So let's get Tina a domain. Now, Tina wants to focus on her dog and healthy living with recipes. So the keywords she wants to work with are dogs and healthy recipes. That's going to be difficult to combine in one domain. That's why she picks her healthy recipes as her main focus area. We can assume that healthyrecipes.com will be taken. So we need to look at alternatives. Getting ideas is as easy as Googling who is already ranking on your focus area. We like to use lean domain search. Just go to leandomainsearch.com, fill in your keywords, and let lean domain search do the work. As you can see, lean domain search combines your keywords with a couple of generic other keywords to come up with domain names that are still available. So let's go over a couple of them. Now there isn't one that really stands out to me, but I actually like this one, MrHealthyRecipes.com. Let's remember that domain name. To change MrHealthyRecipes.com into MissHealthyRecipes.com, and we're gonna find a partner to host our new website on. In this example, we're using SiteGround.com. All of the links of the tools that we're using in this video are linked below in the description. Now, SiteGround.com offers a couple of simple options to get your website up and running. For this example, we're going to use WordPress.com. So let's get started. Now, as you can see, there are a couple of options. Now, because Tina is just starting, she doesn't need a really big hosting package. So that's why we're just starting with the startup option. Let's fill in the domain name that we've decided on. And this is the part where you choose the extension that we talked about earlier. So let's go with .com. This is the final step of SiteGround, where you just fill in all of the account information, client information, and payment information to get your hosting going. Once you've finalized the process, you will receive an email where you can easily just launch the wizard of SiteGround.com. When you launch the wizard, SiteGround will help you set up your hosting. So let's set up as a new website. I want to start using WordPress. And we're going to fill in these details. In here, you can just fill in your own email address, think of a username and password, and confirm. Once you've filled in all of the options, you can confirm and agree the terms of service and complete the setup. SiteGround is going to set up WordPress, and it's going to make sure it's running properly on your new domain. Once SiteGround is done, you can go and head to the customer area. This is where you can find all of the details to your hosting account. In the top view, there is this My Accounts tab. Once you click it, you'll get an overview of all of your domains that you've set up. in the My Accounts tab, you can find all of the domains that you have set up. This is where we will find the misshealthyrecipes.com domain. So let's manage our account. This is where you can see your domain, what has been installed, which in this case is WordPress 5.2.2, which is the latest version. And if you want to go and head into your domain, you can just simply click Go to the admin panel. Now that Tina has set up her domain and hosting for her new website, she needs to decide what to use for her website platform. This is basically all the technical stuff that runs your website and makes sure that visitors get to see all the beautiful stuff that Tina has created. Now there are a couple of different ways to build a website, and we've listed them here. Websites like Wix and Squarespace are perfect platforms if you don't want to spend too much time of figuring out what to build, and if you're looking for a very basic and simple website. We have linked them down below for you to check out. Now the platform that we will be using is WordPress. And the reason why we choose WordPress is because WordPress is a very easy to install, easy to use, but also leaves room if you want to expand the website in the future for things like adding a store or a community. Now the last option for building a website is building one from scratch with a specialist from platforms like Upwork and 99 Designs. This option is also the most expensive option and is special because you can build whatever you want. But do consider the fact that you really need to know what you want, because miscommunication during this process can cost you a lot of money. But for Tina, WordPress is the perfect solution because she is already thinking of maybe adding a store in the future or setting up a video channel. So she wants a little bit more freedom, and she heard a lot of good stories about WordPress. Once you've clicked Go to the admin panel, SiteGround will direct you to the admin panel of WordPress. This is where you can fill in your username and your password to log in into your WordPress domain. Once you've filled in your personal information, SiteGround will help you set up your WordPress site. When setting up WordPress, there are a couple of options you can go through when it comes to themes. Don't worry on picking the right theme at the beginning, because you can change this at any time once your website is set up. So for now, just pick one and hit continue. SiteGround then suggests a couple of plugins which will help you set up your website easier. Plugins are basically an extension of your website and give you extra features that can help your visitors. For instance, a contact form, or Google Maps integration, or maybe even a shop or a calendar. But for this instance, we're going to leave it as is, but you can choose whatever you want and try to fill it around. The last option are 3 plugins that might be interesting to you. First of all is Google Analytics to see what your customers are doing. The second one is to optimize your website for SEO using the Yoast SEO plugin. And the last option is a plugin by OptinMonster, which help you grow your subscribers list. Any of these options are not necessary to run your WordPress website, but may come in handy in a later state. So for now, I'm going to leave it as is and hit complete. Once SiteGround is done with your website, this screen will pop up. You have 2 options: go to the dashboard or directly view your website. So let's take a look at what has already been done. As you can see, your website is up and running. There's a basic blog and different features already up and running. But in the next section, we're going to customize this with your look and feel and your features for your upcoming website. If at any time you want to access your WordPress website, just hit up your domain at wp-admin and it will take you to the login screen of WordPress. Now let's look at all the different possibilities in WordPress. On the left, you can see all of the menu items in your WordPress admin. On the left, you will find all of the different items that are available to you. Let's get started on the beginning. In the Posts tab, you will find all of the different blog posts that you have published. Once you click Add New, you can start writing right away. WordPress provides you with handy tips on what every feature of this screen is telling you. Now the next item is categories. Blog posts can be divided in categories. This can come in handy later on if you want to categorize your blog post. So let's say, for instance, in Tina's example, she wants to write about healthy recipes. She can categorize by the different kitchens. So she can categorize by Asian cuisine, French cuisine, etc., etc., and put the different posts that she's publishing in those categories so she can build different pages using those categories. And last but not least, in the Posts tab, you can add tags. So let's say in Tina's example again, when she's publishing a post about the Asian cuisine, she can add a tag like ramen or pho or noodles, etc., etc. She can select those posts in a later state. Let's move on to media. The next section is the media section. You will find a library where you can find all of the available media on your website. You can add new media, for instance, like images and videos. The next section is pages. The big difference between pages and posts is that posts is usually used for blog posts and updates. Pages are more long-term content pages, like contact pages or inspiration pages, usually pages that have a long lifetime. In this overview, you can see all of the different pages that are available on your WordPress. In the next item, you can start writing your first page. Now the next tab is the comment tab. This is the tab where all of the comments are collected that have been posted below your items. Next we have WordPress forms. Now this may be different to other installations or other hosting partners, but in this case we used WordPress forms. This is where the section where you can find the different contact forms that you have been adding. Next up, we have Appearance. This is a collection of all the themes that have been included in WordPress. As you can see, you can easily add a new theme. We're gonna go into all of that in the look and feel section of this video. You can customize your theme with different options. We're not gonna go into this one just yet. Next up, we have widgets. Now, widgets are features that you can include in different sections of your website. So for instance, you can add an image to your footer. Next, we have menus. This is where you can build up your own menu and use it in the later section. The next section is plugins. As I told you before, this is a section where you can install plugins that will help you expand your website. It can range from a wide variety of different plugins, for instance, a calendar plugin or a Google Maps plugin. There are a lot of plugins in the community, so definitely worth searching for something that suits your needs. And the next section is the user section. In this section, you can add colleagues, friends, or other people that can contribute to your website and give them a known account. In the tools section, you can find all of the available tools that can help you export personal data or erase personal data, especially in this time of day with privacy being very important. This is something you want to keep in mind. And last but not least is the general settings area. In this area, you can find settings for your website and change them to your needs. To give you an example, you can change the site title, site tagline, and adjust the email address that you're using to access your website. Now that Tina has the basics up and running, there's something showing up on her domain and she's ready to make it her own. The look and feel of a website is where you can create your own piece of the internet and let your visitors recognize the vibe you want to provide. Before we're going to look at different designs, you should have a general look and feel in mind. What other websites do you like or use on a daily basis? And what would your own website look like? Think about what the goal of your website is going to be. Do you only want to inform your visitors, or do you want visitors to do something? Now, the goal of the website is crucial for your design, because generally designers build a look and feel for a specific goal, like photography or events. When you've decided on your goal, we will be looking at designs that are easy to use, something that has an easy page builder, and something that has example pre-built pages that you can modify to your own liking. When you've decided on the goal, when you have decided on your goal, when we have decided on the goal, when you have decided what your goal of it, when you have decided what your goal, when you have decided what the goal of your website is going to be, we're going to look at designs that are easy to use, something that has an easy page builder, and something that has example pre-built pages that you can modify to your own liking. And if you're stuck, you want to have great customer support to help you along the way. There are so many designs on the internet that it can be hard to find one that suits your needs. In the case of Wix and Squarespace, the designs are pre-built and part of the platform you're on. There are some great designs on both platforms. There are so many designs on the internet that it can be hard to find one that suits your needs. In case of Wix and Squarespace, the designs are pre-built as a part of the platform you're on. There are some great designs on both platforms. In the case of Wix and Squarespace, the designs are pre-built and part of the platform you're on. There are some great designs on both platforms. Now, in the case of WordPress, there is one big website called Theme Forest, which has a bunch of different designs ready to use. Going for a premium, there are a lot of free designs on the internet, but going with a premium design will help you in the long run. There are a lot of free designs on the internet. But going with a premium There are a lot of free designs on the internet, but going with a paid design will help you in the long run. There are a lot of free designs on the internet, but going with a paid design will help your website look more professional and help you in the long run. And the last option is to get a custom design from Upwork or 99 Designs. You can build whatever you want, but this is also the most expensive option because of the time and effort into the design. a designer But this is also the most expensive option because of the time and effort put into the design by a specialist. Now let's take a look at what's good for Tina. So Tina wants her visitors to see her recipes and buy her dog products. And she's using WordPress. So we're going to take a look at Theme Forest. Picking out a design can be difficult because there are so many different options. Let's head over to themeforest.net. On this website, you can select WordPress. Once you've selected WordPress designs, you can go over the different goals that the designers have set for you. As you can see, corporate, blog, e-commerce, retail, entertainment. There are a lot of different options. What we usually like to do is to go over all of the popular items. Just select popular items. From here, you can select the theme that you feel most suited to your needs. Just select one and look at what different features they offer. Usually the number of sales and the item rating will tell you a lot about the customer service and how frequently the design is being. Before buying a design, it's a good idea to look at what the design looks like in the real world. Every design has this live preview feature. So let's look at the design that we've selected. Now we like this design because it's simple and easy to use. As you can see, there's a lot of demo content already available to you. Now Tina mainly wants to write about healthy recipes, so for her, a blog might be the best solution. So these are the different options for creating your own blog. I kinda like this design, so let's see how that looks in real life. Cool. A nice header, a couple of subsections, popular posts on the right, tags, I can see Tina using this design. So let's try and install this. For this video, we're going to use the salient design. It has a decent amount of sales and it has a good item rating. It has over 250 useful templates, which makes it a lot easier to create your own pages. Salient is light and fast, which makes it a lot easier for your customers to read your pages. It has an easy page builder. It's not necessary to select the salient design. This process works for every design. Once you've selected the design that you like, just select Buy Now. Create an account at Theme Forest. Once you've purchased the design that you like, the design will be available to you in the Downloads page. Hit the download button and select Installable WordPress files only. Once you've downloaded the design file will be available to you in the Downloads folder. Now log in to your WordPress blog and go to the Appearance section and select Themes. Once you've selected Themes, you can add a new theme and upload the theme. WordPress will ask you where the download file can be found. Choose File, go to your Downloads folder and select the downloaded design. Hit Install Now. Once your theme is installed, this screen will pop up. Hit Activate. Congratulations, you've just installed your first design. Now in order to run some themes, you will have to install the required plugins. So let's begin installing the plugins. Here you can see a list of all of the plugins that need to be installed. Select them all. Hit Install and apply. Let's take a look at how the website is looking now. As you can see, it's a lot different. Now let's go back and install the demo content. To make sure the design is working properly, you need to install some demo content and activate the plugins. So head over to your design category and hit General Settings. On this page, you can see which plugins are required to run the design. Hit Begin installing and activating plugins. Once again, you're back at the plugins page. Select them all and hit Activate. Now that all plugins are activated, we're going to go into the Design submenu and select Demo Importer. On this page, you can see all the different demo content you can activate. So let's select one. For instance, I like going with this blog magazine, so I'm going to select this one. Confirm import and let the theme work its magic. When the demo content is imported, let's take a look at how the website looks now. This looks a lot different than before, but still not quite like the demo content that we have seen before. So let's try and fix that. Head back into the admin, go to Settings and select Reading. Now the reason why it looked different was because the home page. Now the reason why it was different is because the home page was a static page. So select the static page and for home page, select Magazine Blog Landing and save changes. Now let's see what we did. Cool, this is more like the demo content that we saw. So let's try and add some own content. Good content can make or break your website, but not everyone is good at writing or creating good images and video. There are a couple of websites and tools that can help you create your first page. But before we start creating your first content, it's essential to know what and how to create that content to engage with your visitors. We will give you a couple of suggestions on where to get started. Before creating any piece of content, take these 3 things in mind. You want to do your research on what topics will attract more visitors and how to create the content you want. Next, you want to look at how you can use that research and put a spin on your own content and how to add value. Once you know what and how to create your first piece of content, you want to make it look pretty, because people don't really like to read. Making your content look good will make reading it a lot easier. Doing your research can be as easy as using the tools you already use on a daily basis. The only thing is that you need to look for it and see how interesting the topic is for your visitors. By looking at the numbers like the amount of views, total number of results, or the amount of people who are searching for it. We will be looking at relevant topics that are related to your main focus area. This will help you become more relevant for your main focus area and give you ideas on how to rank better on your keywords. Once you've created your first piece of content, you want to spice it up with some beautiful images and videos. But you can't use any picture or video from the internet. This can get you into legal trouble. But luckily, there are some great resources where you can get some beautiful images and videos, like Pexels, Pixabay, and Unsplash. And if you want an easy way to create some videos, promo.com is a great new way to create videos the easy way. So let's create a first piece of content for Tina using the tools and resources we just discussed. Now that we have set up our homepage, we want to try and customize it. So we're going to head into Pages, All Pages, and see that this is our front page. So let's try and edit it. This is the part where you can customize your page. With the Salient design, you can choose between different templates. So let's look at what Salient has to provide. In this section, you can see the different options of elements you can add to your page and make the homepage your own. So let's look at the blog items. When you scroll down, you can see that there are a lot of different options to add to your page. Try and fiddle around and just add them and delete them if you don't like them. I like this item, so I'm gonna select it and add it to the page. Now the newly added element is down below. As you can see, recent post slider has been added to your page. The best way to get familiar with your design is to just add and change a couple of elements. So let's adjust our latest element. As you can see, there are a lot of different options to select from. Once you've made the necessary changes, hit update and wait for it to save. Once it's done loading, go and check it out. So here's the homepage. So once you scroll down, you can see that the added element that we've just created is all the way down below. Now let's change the position of this element. The only thing you have to do is hit the edit page button, go all the way down to the element where you want to change the position to, and drag it all the way up top. And hit update. Let's see how it looks. Boom! It's on the top of the page. Now there is a different way to customize your design. There's also this customize button. Here you see a live view of your website and all of the different items you can change. Just go through a couple of them, change a couple of options and save. Don't worry, you can change back at any time you want. Now let's go back one more time and create our first blog post. Hit the edit page button and go into the posts section. Now all these posts are part of the demo content. So to give you a good example of what's possible, the first thing you want to figure out if the categories are right. So let's go into the category section. The demo content has imported these categories for you. Maybe you want to change them to something that's more appropriate to your goal. In Tina's case, she wants to add a category healthy recipes. Now the slug part is, as you can see, the part that's going to be displayed in the URL. This is helpful for your customers to This is the part of the URL that makes it easier for your visitors to find your website or search engines. So let's add the same content. And hit add category. What you can do is create subcategories. So as a part of healthy recipes, Tina wants to add keto recipes as well. Select healthy recipes as your main category and hit save. Now let's create our first Now let's create our first post. Hit add new. And let's start writing. Once you're done, writing your first blog post, once you're done with writing your first blog post, you can select the once you're done with creating your first blog post, you can file it under the correct category. So let's select the categories page. Once you're done writing your first blog post, you can file it under the right category. So hit categories and select healthy recipes. Now it's time to publish. Hit publish again, and your first blog post is live. Now Tina wants to add a beautiful picture for her blog post. Now go to pexels.com and search for the type of pictures that you're looking for. In Tina's case, let's search for food. This is a great picture. Let's choose this one. Download the picture. Now to add the picture to the blog post, simply click this button, upload the file, congratulations, you've just added your first picture to your blog post. Now there are so many options in your design that it's hard to go over all of them in this video. But remember, start with some demo content and try to customize that demo content to your liking. If you're stuck, try and find examples by Googling them or contact the customer support. In this video, we won't go into deep into e-commerce, but we thought you might like to have a sneak preview of what's coming up on our channel specific to e-commerce. So let's jump into it. There are a couple of ways to get started with e-commerce. Shopify and WooCommerce are two of the easiest ways to get started. Shopify offers a wide range of features to get a fully featured e-commerce website live. Plus, Shopify has some great customer support to get you going. On the other hand, you have WooCommerce, which has some great integrations with Wordpress and makes it very easy to align your design from your website to your shop. We recommend that if you're looking for just an e-commerce website, Shopify is your way to go. But if you're looking for some other features, like building a subscription program or anything more than just an e-commerce website, then WooCommerce will be your way to go. When it comes to e-commerce, you want to look into these three things before getting started: the type of product you want to sell, the revenue and profit of your new e-commerce site, and the unexpected business that comes with your new e-commerce website. When it comes to picking a product for your e-commerce website, you first of all want a product that you're excited about. This sounds logical, but a lot of people try to find products that will make them a lot of money. But don't forget, you will be spending a lot of time working on this product, and if you don't like it, people will notice. So go with something that's close to home. Look for something you're good at and what products you use. Of course, it's nice to make some money off your new e-commerce website, but you want to be smart about it. The product itself doesn't need to be a physical product. It can also be a service you're providing, like taking photos, doing someone nails, or selling a digital product like a keto recipe book. Think about the limits of something physical, because 9 out of 10 times digital products will be easier to set up due to the lack of having to ship the product or deal with customer support. Look at this iPhone, for instance. Just the iPhone is $500. But if you sell the iPhone with a case and replacement service, you're selling the same with more profit and creating a loyal customer with the replacement service. Think about anything to increase your average order value, because this will make it easier to improve your business over time. A lot of people we meet who have started e-commerce website have told us that they have never thought about the unexpected cost of running an e-commerce website. Shipping products can be very expensive, especially when you consider that, for instance, for clothing, almost 40% of the orders get returned. You will be spending a lot of time helping out customers with their orders, so remember to take your time replying to customer requests. And last but not least, expect to spend some time and money on getting the right product information, from images to label information on your website. This is not only to help your customers make the right decision, but also will improve the amount of returns you can expect. If you want to know more about e-commerce, consider subscribing. Getting your first visitors can be very exciting, but try and maintain a relationship and make sure your visitors come back. In order to do so, you will need to provide a reason to come back. That's why you want to add value like we talked about before, by providing an easier way or higher quality product at a cheaper price. But there are a couple of tricks to make your customers come back easier. Make them subscribe to a newsletter to inform them on discounts or products coming out. You can also try and building a community around the topic you're building your website for, by setting up contests or having AMA specific to your website. The last thing that can be very productive is to set up events like a webinar or a stream where you show the latest trends to attract visitors. Finally, Tina has set up her new website, dipped her toes into e-commerce, and found ways to build a relationship with her visitors. Comment down below if you have any questions and let us know what you have created. All the links to the tools we've used are in the description. And don't forget, we have a couple of videos coming up in which we will go deeper into topics we've discussed, so you don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next video.